Today I am going to share with you 3 of my favorite corrective exercises for mom posture. I'm Brooke Campbell, by the way, and I just love sharing videos that I feel might be helpful to you in just little snippets, because sometimes throughout our day we need to just find pockets of 5 minutes here and there for some self-care. And that way I think we can afford 5 minutes. I know that sometimes our schedules are pretty packed, but I'm pretty sure we can do 5 minutes. So let's get going right away so I don't waste any more of your time. First of all, glutes, okay? So otherwise known as the booty. Those muscles, I don't know what happens. The kids come out and away they go with the kids. So we need to make sure that we're strengthening those muscles properly, because we are bending over all the time to pick up stuff. And we want to make sure that we're using those nice strong glutes. And part of that means that we need to rediscover them. So I love what's called a pivot squat. You can use a chair for balance if you need to, but what you're going to do is put all of your weight on one foot. Imagine lifting the arch of your foot, spreading the toes out nice and wide and feeling rooted firmly through the bottom of the foot. Then we are going to hinge forward, flat back, gently tucking in the low abdomen, and we're pushing our booty back. And as we push our booty back, we're also pressing it gently out to the side. So we're crossing over that foot behind us, and then we're pivoting back up and driving that knee through. So as we do this, we really feel a load into those hips and glutes. So here's kind of a way not to do it. A way not to do it is like letting your knee come forward, because then all I feel is quads and knees. I'm not feeling anything going through my glutes. So I'm really pressing it back, almost like I'm gonna fall over, and then a slight kind of lift and tilt, and then driving it through. So do a few of those with me. So press back, put all the weight into the outer hip, and then swivel it around and drive it through, all the while keeping the core engaged. It takes some practice, you guys, it really does. If you don't like the pivot, you can go straight back. Another option is to step up onto a really high step, and then slowly bring yourself down until you touch the floor. But the key is to really push your butt back. Okay, really force yourself to do that. Let's try to even it out on the other side. I realize that as moms, we tend to multitask and everything. And so you might be doing this video while your kids are in the room, or while you're waiting for something to cook in the microwave or whatever. But you really have to be mindful when it comes to glute work, okay? I've been doing this for many years, and I've discovered that my glutes, unless I'm fully in tune with them, they do not want to fire up. So I'm really thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about breathing. I'm really pushing back, almost to where I feel like I might stumble, and stumbling is so fine. It's part of the dance. So we're pushing it back and coming up and through. Let's do one more. I trust that if you have time, extra time after this video, you'll do a few more reps on each side. So about 10 to 12 of those on each leg, okay? The next one, I don't know about you, but we kind of tend to push our hips forward and round our shoulders forward. It comes from the territory of holding on to the kid or whatever else we're hauling around. So one of the best relieving exercises that I like to do is to interlace my fingers, pull up and back behind the head without crunching my head forward. So I'm keeping my neck straight and strong. I'm opening those elbows out to the side. I'm keeping my pelvis neutral, so I'm not shifting my hips forward. I'm keeping the pelvis neutral, and I'm just opening up those arms wide, looking straight ahead and breathing, and that's it. Shoulder blades down. This one works really well in a seated posture too, sitting on the floor with your kids, sitting at your chair if you're at work, or just standing. It feels so great. It lengthens out those triceps all the way down your side body. Feels so good. So as you're here, I want you to think about sending that breath down the back of your throat, through your chest, into the front wall, the side walls, and the back walls of your abdomen, okay? We tend to push our breath out front a little in imbalanced way, so get it out to the sides and into the back as well. Okay. And the last one is a nice passive stretch. So you're gonna go up to something strong and steady. This is not strong and steady, but it's what I have right now. We're gonna go into a deep squat. So your feet are gonna be slightly turned out, about hips width distance, maybe a little bit wider. And I'm just gonna reach my arms out in front, and I am going to sit down, and I might need to shimmy my feet closer or further away. But if you have a solid structure, you're really gonna hold on to it and pull down, and really reach those arms and sit back. And we're really gonna focus on breathing into our back from here, okay? Should feel like such a nice release, especially if you're kind of been standing up for quite a long time, or any prolonged positioning. This feels so good. And you can change like where you're reaching with your arms. Maybe you want to reach out in front, and that changes where you feel that stretch in your spine. So that's a nice deep squat. And you can also just do this like, hey, you're down on the floor with the kids. You don't have to be holding on to something. It's going to be a little more low back focused, but if you want to get into the sides of the back as well, that's where you would have different things, that angles that you would reach. All right, so there you have it. We have the pivot squat. That helps us to reactivate our glutes so that we're using those muscles when we're picking up things or bending or hinging forward. So we want to reclaim those glutes and use them more. And then secondly, this really helps with alleviating that forward bending in our thoracic spine. And then this deep squat really helps to stretch out those overworked paraspinal muscles. They tend to get a little bit tight, and the deep breathing will really help with each of those as well. So try those out and let me know how they feel, and I'll keep putting out similar things like this, kind of a mix of fun, dancey, energizing, mindful things, or just very corrective exercises for mom posture. So make sure you subscribe, please. Thank you.